There's a moment in life when everything feels like it should have already happened. You've worked, you've waited, you've sacrificed, and still nothing. No breakthrough, no recognition, no visible progress, just silence. And in that silence, a dangerous question begins to grow inside your mind. What if it's never going to happen for me? Let me ask you something. How many times have you felt like giving up, not because you're weak, but because you're tired of waiting? Tired of watching others move ahead while you stand still? Tired of believing in something that hasn't shown you any proof yet? Tired of holding on when everything in your world is telling you to let go? But what if I told you that this very moment, the one that feels like delay, is actually the beginning of your greatness? What if your waiting is not punishment, but preparation? Because patience is not passive. It is not sitting still. It is not doing nothing. Patience is power under control. And most people never understand this. They think greatness is built in the spotlight. They think success happens when everything is visible, when everything is moving fast, when results are immediate. But that's not where greatness is built. Greatness is built in the quiet, in the unseen hours, in the long stretches when nothing seems to change, in the moments when you choose to continue without applause, without validation, without certainty. Here's what nobody tells you. The reason most people never become great is not because they lack talent, it's because they lack patience. They want results before they become the person capable of handling those results. They want the reward without the transformation. But life doesn't work that way. Let me take you somewhere for a moment. Imagine a seed buried deep in the ground. It's dark, it's cold, it's alone. There's no sunlight, no applause, no confirmation that it's even alive. And yet, something is happening. Beneath the surface, where no one can see, the seed is breaking. Not growing upward yet, breaking downward first. Roots are forming, strength is developing. Because if it rushed to the surface too soon, it wouldn't survive. The wind would destroy it. The weight of the world would crush it. So nature forces it to wait, forces it to build strength before it builds visibility. Now ask yourself, are you in the soil right now? Because if you are, then what you call delay might actually be your foundation being built. And foundations take time. Let me ask you something else. If everything you wanted came to you immediately, would you truly value it? Or would you lose it just as quickly? Because patience doesn't just prepare your circumstances, it prepares you. It strengthens your discipline. It sharpens your focus. It tests your commitment. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't fail because life is too hard. They fail because they quit during the waiting. They misinterpret the silence. They assume no progress means no purpose. But silence is not absence. Silence is construction. Think about your own life. How many times have you walked away from something just before it could have changed everything? How many dreams have been abandoned not because they were impossible, but because they were slow? Because we live in a world that celebrates speed, fast success, instant results, overnight transformations. But greatness does not live there. Greatness lives in the long road. The road where you doubt yourself. The road where you question everything. The road where you are forced to confront who you really are. And that road requires patience. But what if I told you patience is not about waiting for time to pass? It's about who you become while time passes. Because time will move whether you grow or not. The real question is, are you growing with it? Let me challenge you. Right now, where you are, who are you becoming? Are you becoming bitter or better? Are you becoming weaker or stronger? Are you losing belief or building resilience? Because patience will reveal your true character. It will strip away your excuses. It will expose your fears. It will confront you with your limitations. And in that confrontation, you have a choice: to run or to rise. But here's the part most people misunderstand. Patience is not comfortable. It's not peaceful in the beginning. It's not easy. It's frustrating. It's uncertain. It's painful because you are standing between where you are and where you want to be. And that space feels unbearable. But that space is sacred because that's where transformation happens. Let me ask you something. Who were you 5 years ago? Think about it. Your mindset, habits, level of discipline. Now, look at who you are today. There has been growth, even if it wasn't obvious in the moment, even if it didn't feel like progress. That's the power of time, combined with persistence. But here's the shift. What if you stopped measuring your life by immediate results and started measuring it by long-term growth? What if you stopped asking, "Why is this taking so long?" and started asking, "What is this time trying to teach me?" Because every delay carries a lesson, and every lesson prepares you for a level you're not ready for yet. Here's what nobody tells you. The bigger the vision, the longer the preparation. The greater the purpose, the deeper the process. Because you cannot carry something heavy with a weak foundation. You cannot lead others if you haven't mastered yourself. You cannot sustain greatness if you haven't developed patience. And that's why life slows you down. Not to stop you, but to strengthen you. Let me say that again. Life slows you down, not to stop you, but to strengthen you. But what if I told you most people resist this process? They fight it, they rush it, they try to escape it, and in doing so, they delay their own greatness. Because impatience is self-sabotage. It makes you quit too early. It makes you doubt too quickly. It chases shortcuts that lead nowhere. But patience builds depth. It builds clarity. It builds endurance. And endurance is what separates those who start from those who finish. Let me ask you something. Do you want quick success or lasting greatness? Because you cannot have both. Quick success fades. It collapses under pressure. It disappears when challenges arise. But greatness endures. It survives storms. It adapts. It grows stronger over time. And that kind of strength only comes from patience. Now, listen carefully. There will be days when you feel like nothing is working. Days when you question your path. Days when you feel invisible. And in those moments, your mind will try to convince you to stop. It will whisper, "This isn't worth it. You're wasting your time. Maybe this isn't meant for you." But what if those thoughts are not truth? What if they are just tests? Tests of your commitment, tests of your belief, tests of your patience. Because every great journey includes doubt. Every great story includes struggle. And every great person has faced the temptation to quit. But they didn't. Not because it was easy, but because they understood something most people don't. That patience is not waiting for the right moment. It's becoming the right person. Let me ask you something. If success came to you today, are you ready for it? Are you disciplined enough to maintain it? Are you wise enough to handle it? Are you strong enough to protect it? Because success is not just about getting there, it's about staying there. And patience is what prepares you to stay. Now here's the turning point.
Most people misunderstand patience, and this is why they stay stuck. They think patience means waiting without action. But real patience is active. It's showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it.
It's doing the work even when you don't see results. It's improving even when no one is watching. That's real patience. It's consistency without immediate reward. And that is rare. Because most people need validation to continue. They need proof. They need results. But greatness requires belief without proof, effort without applause, progress without recognition. Let me ask you something. Can you keep going when no one is cheering for you? Can you stay focused when everything around you is distracting you? Can you trust the process when the process makes no sense? Because if you can, then you are already becoming great. But here's the deeper truth. Patience doesn't just build success, it builds peace. Because when you learn to be patient, you stop rushing your life. You stop comparing your timeline to others. You stop chasing things that aren't aligned with you. You begin to understand that your journey is yours and yours alone. Let me ask you something. Why are you in such a hurry? Who are you trying to catch up to? Because the moment you start comparing, you lose your clarity, you lose your focus, and you start making decisions based on pressure instead of purpose. But patience brings you back. It grounds you. It reminds you that what is meant for you cannot miss you, and what is not meant for you cannot be forced. Now think about this. Some of the greatest transformations in life take time. Healing takes time. Growth takes time. Mastery takes time. And yet, we expect everything to happen instantly. But nature doesn't rush, and neither should you. Because when you rush, you make mistakes. You overlook details. You ignore warning signs. You compromise your values. But when you move with patience, you see clearly. You think deeply. You act wisely. And that leads to lasting results. Let me bring you back to where we started. That feeling of being stuck, that feeling of waiting, that feeling of wondering if it will ever happen. What if that feeling is not your enemy? What if it's your teacher? Because in that space, you learn resilience, you learn discipline, you learn who you truly are. And that knowledge is priceless. But here's the moment most people miss. The breakthrough doesn't come when you're desperate. It comes when you're ready. And readiness is built through patience. So instead of asking, when will it happen? Start asking, am I ready for it to happen? Because the answer to that question will change everything. Now listen closely. There will come a day when everything you've been working for begins to unfold. Slowly at first, then all at once. Opportunities will appear, doors will open, people will notice. And in that moment, it will look like overnight success. But you will know the truth. You will remember the waiting, the doubts, the silent struggles. And you will understand that none of it was wasted. Every moment of patience was building something inside you, something unshakable. Something powerful, something real. And that is greatness. Not the spotlight, not the recognition, but the strength you've built within. Let me ask you one final question. When the moment comes, will you be ready? Because it will come. Not on your timeline, but on the timeline that shapes you into who you need to be. So don't rush it. Don't fight it. Embrace it. Trust it. Grow through it. Because patience is not holding you back. It's preparing you to rise. And when you finally rise, you won't just reach success. You will become someone who deserves it, sustains it, and defines it. So hold on. Stay steady. Keep building. Even when it's slow. even when it's hard, even when it's invisible. Because the strongest structures are built in silence, and the greatest lives are shaped by patience. Now ask yourself, what are you ready to become while you wait?